Happy 2025, everyone. We wanted to do a video where we kind of like round off the year and look ahead to the future and also answer lots of the questions which we've never answered before.
A lot of you have asked how Joel and I met, and we've never actually talked about it on here, I didn't think. So later in the video, we will be talking about that.
And it's quite a unique circumstance, so you're probably going to want to hear it. If you do hear any dog noises throughout this video, or you just see him hop into frame, this is Senna. He's your dad's dog, isn't he?
He's a cutie, but he's very excitable. We wanted to start off by going through our 2024 travel stats. We actually saw Cara and Nate do this last year, and we took their idea because we thought it was really good, and they are our favourite YouTubers.
Let's start with these stats. The first one which they kind of did was like how many beds they stayed in. So at the start of this year, in January, well, last January now, I was like, right, every bed we stay in, I'm going to track it, and so we can, at the end of the year, we can actually see how often we kind of moved, because we stay in so many hotels. In 2024, we stayed in 95 beds, and I worked that out. That's a new bed every 3.8 days, which is no wonder like we always feel like we're lost, or we just feel like we're constantly packing and unpacking our bags. Senna, are you going to stay there the whole time? He's such a silly boy.
That's quite crazy though, because we actually stayed still for 3 months in Bali. We didn't really film any of that, but we were there for 3 months in one bed. So how we've also managed to stay in like 94 other beds is crazy.
The number of flights that we took in 2024 was 43 flights, and this includes like a layover flight. So if we were flying to, I don't know, China, and it included a layover, we counted that as 2 flights. I took 43 flights and you took 39 flights.
In 2024, we went to 19 countries and 4 continents. Which continents did we go to? South America, North America, Europe, and Asia.
North America only counts because we went to Panama, so we kind of feels like we didn't, but technically we did.
The next travel stat is how many times did we get food poisoning in the year? I think I got it twice.
I only got it once, but I felt like I was going to die in Bali. When I was in bed, I couldn't even look at my phone for like the whole day, could I?
Yeah, I don't know what it is specifically about Bali, because we've been a lot of places. We didn't get ill when we were staying with a tribe. We didn't get ill any places, but Bali, I was ill for about a month with salmonella poisoning, even though I ate vegetarian food.
How many videos did we post in 2024? We actually posted 45 videos, which I'm quite impressed with that. High five.
Yeah. That's good.
The most viewed video of the year was the most dangerous hike, which Emilia didn't actually go on, but it was 1.5 million views.
This has to be one of the craziest things I've ever done. This is absolutely mental. Look at the drop. Look at the flipping drop down there.
And it's growing every single day, so that's pretty impressive. And across the year, we actually had 10.3 million views. That's pretty crazy, right?
That's mad. I didn't know that actually. 10 million.
Over 10 million views. And of course, if you have been here a while, in January we did hit 100,000, and we've actually grown 88.4 thousand subscribers in 2024. So we've almost like doubled our subscribers in like another year, whereas it took us what, 2 or 3 years to get to 100k.
Yeah.
In 2025, we want to start a Patreon, and basically this will be a behind the scenes of all the stuff, maybe like selfies, little life updates, like countries where we're going to. So if you do want a bit of an exclusive behind the scenes of what we're doing and like updates for us and videos which are coming, then you can sign up to the Patreon link in the description. And yeah, anything you want on the Patreon which is kind of extra, then just like leave a comment down below and we'll try and add that.
For this video, we actually came up with a few categories like best moment of the year or scariest moment of the year, and we haven't told each other our answers yet.
And we'll actually see if we've got the same ones, because I feel like we definitely will in some of the categories, but some of them, they could just be completely different.
This is going to be interesting. Number 1, scariest moment of 2024.
I feel like this could be the same moment.
Yeah.
I have a feeling anyway.
Do you want to go first?
Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
The Mentawi boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this moment actually wasn't on camera. This was after we finished filming the video, so none of you know about this. Do you want to explain it?
Okay. This was really traumatic for me. I genuinely did have a panic attack. I've never been so scared in my life. Basically, when we filmed the video about the Mentawai tribe, we stayed with them on the remote island in Indonesia. Basically, on our way back, we had to get kind of a ferry crossing back to the main island of Sumatra. And unfortunately, the day we were going to do that, the ferry actually got cancelled. This ferry only runs twice a week. So this was like our only way off the island. We ended up paying a ridiculous amount of money for this small speedboat with 18 tourists.
And we were about 10 minutes out of shore, and we started driving, and then this guy got a message saying there was a big storm warning, which is why the ferry wasn't running.
And so we spent 4 or 5 hours just going on this little speedboat on these big waves in the middle of the ocean, basically. Nothing else around us. No one was going to rescue us if something went wrong.
They probably took the risk because they were earning like £3,000 or whatever, so there you go. But we lived, and we're still here to tell the tale.
Number 2 is favourite video to make.
I feel like this could be the same.
Yeah.
No, what is it? 3, 2, 1, Socotra. What was your favourite video of ours in the whole year? Like, let us know down in the description.
Oh, I did a least favourite video to make, but I don't think you did that.
Oh, go on then.
Well, Joel didn't do this one, but my least favourite video to make was in Salento, Colombia.
Oh.
If you want to explain why I didn't enjoy making that one.
You just added another category to like just sell me out.
I was not happy about this.
So the reason this was not a very good video to make for Emilia, well obviously me as well, is because we filmed the whole video and then somehow we lost the SD card. So we had to film it all again. We didn't do the whole video again, but we had to basically hike this like along the beautiful, it was a beautiful valley. We got to hike it 2 times. But we had to hike again, and it felt like we were really faking it. I don't know if you could tell in the video. Maybe go back and tell us whether you felt like it was fake or not. I lost the SD card, and we've never found it.
Yeah, we did about an 8-hour hike and didn't have anything to show for it. Anyway, moving on. Funniest moment of the year.
This is...
I don't know if we'll have the same one.
I don't know. Do you want to go first?
Okay, it was right at the start of the year. When I froze my hair in Iceland.
That was mine as well. It was, I've never laughed so much. I think I stopped breathing.
2, 1. Look at my hair! There's an icicle!
I was in stitches because we really didn't know if it was going to work or not.
But bearing in mind I have a lot of long hair, so I did not think that was going to work how well.
But it was amazing, probably because it was like minus 10 degrees. Number 4 is the worst place.
What, least favourite place?
Least favourite place we visited. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have the same. You go first. And then
I feel like this is going to be controversial with people, but mine was Medellin in Colombia.
Oh! I was not expecting that. You're going to like mine though.
Okay, what was
Do you want to explain about Medellin first?
I heard so much good stuff about Medellin. A lot of people loved it, so they had a great time in the city. Maybe it just wasn't my vibe because I think a lot of it is about nice restaurants and nice bars, and that's just not really something we tend to do on our travels, especially we don't film that kind of thing. And I just didn't feel like there was loads to do. And I also just didn't feel super safe. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but...
Even when we were driving towards the bus stations to go to another part of Colombia, there was literally lines of people on drugs, and it didn't really feel super safe for us. I think you have to add in that we have expensive camera stuff on us, so we want to feel really safe and comfortable so that we film. And obviously we didn't make a video there. So the worst place I said was La Benki Sulawesi.
Okay.
Obviously we made a video there and it probably looked like we had a really good time, and we did, and it wasn't really the place itself. It's kind of everything that happened about the place. So first off, the weather was really bad. Like, it was cloudy the whole time. I don't think we got any sun, right?
No.
And then after that, what happened to you? You got a scar on your foot, which still hurts you today.
My fault, to be fair. I jumped off this like wooden pier onto what I thought was the sand, but I jumped onto a rock, and my foot was bleeding, and it's still scarred. It still hurts. I just fell on a rock and my foot really
When we were coming back from one of the islands, it was super wavy, super choppy. I didn't think we were going to go in at this point. It was just a horrible journey, and we got soaked. every flight we took to get to Lebenki from Bali was cancelled or delayed.
We ended up having to spend like 2 extra nights there just because of cancelled flights, and we couldn't book a new one because they all got booked.
If you're ever taking a domestic flight in Indonesia, do not take Lion Air because they rip you off, take all your money and just cancel your flights and give you no money back. They moved our flight forward 5 hours. I don't know how that's possible.
And we didn't have any internet, so we didn't know it moved forward 5 hours, and we were on the boat back, and
So we missed it.
Next one is favourite place.
I haven't put one for this.
Number 1 is obviously Socotra.
Yeah, I've
as
got
we've
that as
said,
one.
we loved it there. Number 2, the San Blas Islands in Panama.
I've got that one as well. San Blas was incredible. I think the sailing experience we did,
It was just out of this world.
we were going to these remote islands with no other people on them, just sailing. It felt like a dream.
A third one, I don't necessarily know if it was my favourite place, but just a place that really surprised me and that I really just had the best experience at was Cotopaxi in Ecuador.
Oh yeah, I did think about that when I was writing them down.
Yeah.
Cotopaxi was so fun.
Because that was one of the times I had food poisoning just before that, and then we arrived there. I wasn't feeling very well, but we met the nicest people, had the best stay, and it was just such a good, like, wholesome experience. I loved it.
I'll leave the hostel name down here because you have to say it. I've just forgotten it right now. So the other one I had was Zhangjiajie, the Avatar Mountains in China. It's a big national park and it can get really busy, but just being there in person, it was just like, wow.
It was unreal.
Like one of the most beautiful places. So that is it for that section of the video. Right, let's talk about how we met because everyone's been asking, haven't they?
Literally on all our platforms, on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube, everyone has asked.
Like how we met, and we've never said this online. In 2020 is when we first started talking, and this all happened because I saw you on TikTok. Obviously in 2020 it was the COVID year, so no one could really travel. At that time I'd just seen Emilia on TikTok and I obviously followed her, and I'd seen you start talking about travel, and so obviously I followed you on Instagram and kind of just looked through your page and I was like, oh, I'm going to give you a message. And I just started talking to you about travel, didn't I?
Yeah, one of the first things you said, you were like, oh, you've been a lot of places. Like, where's your favourite place to travel? And
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally the first thing we ever talked about was travel. So I feel like it was meant to be.
Here we are, almost 4 years later. The funny thing is, when I eventually asked if you wanted to go out and like do something, it was right in the middle of COVID or one of the other lockdowns. So all we could kind of do was meet up one-on-one and go for a walk. So it's not like we could go to the cinema, go out for a meal or anything. We just had to meet up and go for a walk and just chat.
It's a very irregular way of dating, but it's quite good because it's such a easy way to actually get to know someone. You know, you're not distracted by food or...
2 months of basically meeting up, talking and walking because that's all we could do. I think we could get like a takeaway, couldn't we? We'd get like a takeaway fish and chips and eat, but everything else was pretty much shut. But slowly things started to open up, so we could eventually, I think, sit outside.
In a pub garden.
In a pub garden and go for a meal, but that was like as far as it could really go. Our first travels together was maybe 4 months later, 4 or 5 months later, when it slowly started to open up in the UK and we could go on little trips. So where did we go?
We went to Norfolk.
Norfolk. We went down to Cornwall.
We went to like Pembrokeshire in Wales.
Our first trip overseas was actually Morocco, which is on this YouTube channel, so you can go and watch them. We're probably very different people and very different videos, but from when we were first started, so it'll probably be a little embarrassing, but good fun if you want a funny watch.
But before I met Joel, you'd actually done maybe a year or so of travelling before we'd met. You'd lived in Australia, right?
Yeah, I lived in Australia, then I'd done the classic banana pancake route. Our first big trip together where we were like, right, let's smash YouTube, we really want to start this channel together, was in February 2022. And that's when we flew to Thailand, and that's when the kind of channel started to take off. As we were beginning our 4th full year of full-time travel, we just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who is watching this right now. This all wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you. We'd be, I don't know what we'd be doing if
our lives would be so different. And I don't think either of us have like another job option in mind that we'd be doing. Like, this is it.
This is what I've always wanted to do. I couldn't have thought of anyone better to do it with than Emilia.
Oh, that's nice.
Obviously, we've been doing this together for almost 3 years now. It's about 3 years. And this is where we want to make this big announcement. Now, basically, the channel is called Joel Friend, but obviously we've been doing it together, for the last 3 years, and it's not really just my channel anymore. And we're going to be changing the name. As you watch this, the name is probably changed to Joel and Emilia. So from now on, the channel will be called Joel and Emilia. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, because this is our life together, not just mine. And I don't know why we didn't really change it beforehand. I'm sure you guys would agree, like, this is a joint channel. It's not really just Joel Friend, and it didn't really represent the channel properly. So there probably will be some videos where I'm just on my own doing a crazy adventure.
It's just some things he does are a little bit too extreme out of my comfort zone. I do try, but sometimes I'm like, might have to miss that one out. Like the world's most dangerous hike.
Yeah, I thought I'd just do that myself, keep Emilia safe. Now then, let's go to Instagram and look at all the questions which you asked. We're going to be quick fiery, so we don't drag on too much. First question, do you have any tips for first time Southeast Asia travel? For example, where do I start? Go.
Start in Thailand. I would always say to start in Thailand.
I'd agree. Okay, second question, do you find it easy making friends along a backpacking trip as a couple? Sometimes we do. We are editing so much, like making these videos takes a lot, so we're not always socializing massively because we're editing a lot in the evenings. But like in Cotopaxi, when there is the option available, or we kind of push ourselves a little bit, then yeah, I think it is easy to make friends.
It is easy. I think you just have to push yourselves a bit more as a couple.
And stay in hostels.
Stay in hostels,
Even the private rooms in hostels, because that's going to make it a lot easier. What's your favourite country out of all the ones you have visited?
Mine would have to be the Philippines, but just because I just always feel so happy there. The people are just so happy.
I loved China. That was a really good experience. Indonesia. There's parts of every country that I loved, even Socotra.
Top 3 favourite beach destinations.
One of the beaches, it has to be in Balabac in the Philippines. They were incredible.
Yeah.
At the Maldives.
The Maldives.
Obviously.
And San Blas.
Panama. San Blas Islands were incredible.
Panama is underrated.
Yeah.
What camera do you use for your videos?
I use a Sony A7R5, which is what I'm filming on right now, with I've actually just upgraded to a Sony 16-35 G Master Lens 2.8. Also, all these links will be in the description, so if you just want to click them and that make no sense to you, then that will probably be an easier way of doing it.
And sometimes you use the Action 5.
Yes, I also use the Action 5. I recommend using whatever you feel most comfortable with. Sometimes I'm not comfortable using a big vlogging camera because it attracts a lot of attention and eyeballs to you, so I just use like a little Action, or even my iPhone sometimes, because iPhones are underrated.
Yeah. Did you take anti-malarial before travelling to destinations with higher incidence?
We've never actually taken them. We haven't been anywhere where it's strongly advised, only moderately, so we kind of didn't take them. But it's a personal choice, and I recommend speaking to a doctor. Don't trust us, really. Any
trips planned for North America? Not as of yet. I think we would really like to do a big US road trip at some point.
Obviously, one of our biggest dreams is to go to Hawaii. And Hawaii and the, north, south, east, the western coast of America, the US. Because the Oregon coast, the California coast looks beautiful.
Yes. How long do you think you'll keep the content coming? 5, 10, 20 years?
It's a really hard one to kind of know. I think we're just going to go with the flow and see like how long this thing lasts. But I can always see myself creating content just because I love making videos. Our content could completely change, and maybe we'll travel a lot less when we're a bit, in 20 years time, we probably will. Videos might slow down, but we're just gonna ride this wave and see where things go.
Tell us something about your previous life. Sports, music, hobbies, and where did you meet each other? For most of my life, till I was almost 19, I studied ballet professionally. So that meant when I was 13, I moved away from home. I went to a boarding school in London, and I just pretty much danced every day until I didn't really enjoy it so much anymore. And yeah, that's when I kind of dropped out, and then found Joel and we started traveling. For me, I was kind of a lot more standard. I didn't go to a dance professional school. I just went to school. I never went to uni. I just took a gap year, and that's turned into, you could call it a gap life right now, because I'm kind of still on it. When I was a kid, and I kind of wanted to be a professional cricketer. I loved cricket. Probably wasn't good enough in the end, hence I'm not one right now, but It's pretty good. You still play?
I still play when I can, and we are going to some cricketing nation, if you want a little hint, this year. So maybe I'll pick it a little bit more up. Also played badminton. I played some badminton whilst we were staying in Bali. And if you didn't know, national sport of Indonesia is badminton. Little fact.
I have no coordination when it comes to racket sports, so I didn't join in.
What are your travel anxieties when going to a new place or country? One of them is we don't want to get food poisoning. It does ruin experiences and makes you not want to see many things. It really makes you worry about what you're eating.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. And also boat trips now, after we've mentioned some of the boat trips we've been on.
Even though we've travelled a lot, there's still sometimes that I feel nervous, but then as soon as I arrive at a place, it's always fine. We've never had big issues, really.
What's the best eSIM from a trip to Singapore, Bali and Phuket? So we've kind of used we've used loads of different SIM cards. We've used SIM Local, we've used Nomad SIM, we've used Aerolo. eSIMs are just the way to go. And I'll put some discount codes here if you want to get some money off. Here's an interesting question. Where's the scariest place you guys would like to visit?
Well, that's interesting.
I might need to think about this.
Yeah, I need a second for that.
One place I do really want to go is Venezuela, but not really the dangerous part of Venezuela. It's Angel Falls. That's like a dream of mine. I really want to go there and like film a video and film that experience. A lot of these countries which are like scary or whatever, once you get there, you realize the people are really friendly and it's not always as dangerous as maybe the media makes out and, you know, your preconceptions are.
Actually, one of them would be Brazil. And I know some people might say it's not dangerous, but I think for us, with cameras and
it's just
filming,
the cameras.
It just doesn't feel like the safest country to go to. And we've spoken to people from there and they've kind of, even they've been like...
Yeah, sometimes you do have to be very careful. Like, don't leave your cameras, don't have things out. What's your most memorable experience?
Do you know what? It's not the most necessarily exciting experiences in the world, but one that I remember vividly is the first day we flew to Thailand. We got there and we were so jet lagged and it was all a bit weird because it was just after COVID, and we just sat in our room and we ordered pad thai to the room and we just sat in the room and ate it.
Here we go. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you think is a good start point for full-time travel? This honestly depends where you're going. And let's say flights aren't included because they vary from where you're starting off in the world. If you're going to Southeast Asia, if you started with 5,000 after flights, that could easily last you 3 months.
Depending on your lifestyle, I'd say a lot of people could get
and
away
how
with
much you drink.
Yes, because we don't drink a lot. That really saves us
so
money. Much money you wouldn't believe. But I'd say you could get away with like $1,000 a month.
£1,000, maybe 1,300 USD a month without flights. But that's if you're eating real cheap street food and that kind of stuff, not, you know, partying every night and your budget's going to go out the window. Interesting noise.
Sorry. It's like a burp hiccup. I don't know. Anyway, the last thing we wanted to talk about in this video is looking ahead and what's next for this channel in 2025. If
you guys watch the Socotra videos, then this is kind of the type of video and kind of cinematic style we kind of want to head towards in 2025. Not saying every video will be like that or that kind of standard. Yeah, and just telling a bit more of a story rather than just kind of walking around a city, like a bit more to it, I think. And also in 2025, we want to look at traveling to different parts of the world. You guys know we have done a lot of Southeast Asia, probably a bit too much, but we really do love it there. Obviously we did a bit of South America last year. But we basically want to mix up. We're looking to go to, I don't know how many continents. We don't have our travel plans fully set up yet, but the things we have looked at are so exciting. I am so excited for this year. I think it will be, 2024 was probably our best year, but in terms of like traveling and everything, but I think 2025 will just beat it. Senna, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, Senna's back to say a big thank you to everyone who has watched this video. We are very, very thankful. And again, this whole thing, this whole lifestyle which we're living would not be possible without you guys. So a big thank you again. If you haven't already, go down there and hit the subscribe button. And we will see you in the next video, won't we, Senna? Yeah. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you guys. Bye.